Welcome back, Nemesis Gaming League, as we are back for our third and final matchup of the night, where we have a nice rival divisional game here between the Knights and Distortion. Valence, what can you tell me about these two teams?
Um, so in terms of Knights, they're actually in the past against Distortion, they're actually 3-1 against them. So Knights definitely I think might have a little bit of the edge in terms of their history against Distortion. But that also means Distortion has something to prove against them. And in terms of Distortion, very solid, pretty solid team. From what I've seen, and hopefully they can come out with momentum swinging and take down a very powerful Knights roster.
Yeah, I agree. Distortion, they are 5-0, and the Knights are 3-2. Knights coming off of that two back-to-back rough losses, one against Vortex, which they probably should have had, and then a toss-up game with another divisional rival on Monday on stream that we all saw between Hydra, which that could have gone either way, and so can this game tonight. But Knights are definitely look to come back with that big momentum swing, coming off of those two tough losses. And I really think that this is Distortion's first big test of the season. They've played some decent teams, but they haven't played Hydra yet. They're looking at a couple rough lower ranked teams here. So this is really their first big test as they head into their Knights and Hydra rotation. But for the Knights, I know he's been a little sick this week, Vulcan, but I really expect him to be the one to step up for the Knights to really get this season turned around for them after coming off these two losses. Who are you looking at here for Distortion to make a difference in this game?
I'm gonna say Nicolou is probably the player I'm gonna watch out for in terms of this game because mainly because I've never really seen Nicolou play before, so I'm really curious to see on how he can make an impact on tonight's game for Distortion. See if they can pull it away.
Yeah, and actually, it doesn't look like Nicolou's in this lobby.
Isn't he?
I see Sense, Zap, and Vorse.
Oh, is it an
Um,
FA sub
it
maybe?
look because Vorse just got dropped, if I'm not mistaken, by
Oh.
Vortex. So it looks like they are using an FA sub with Vorse because Nicolou is not here.
Oh, wow.
So
Alright.
maybe that's gonna be the momentum here that the Knights need to try to turn their season around.
Mhm.
Um, to really get things going. Not that Vorse is a bad player at all, but when you come in, maybe not having a lot of chemistry. I don't know how much warm up time they got with their sub. It could be a big thing. But as we're gonna get ready to get this thing underway, who do you have here in this game tonight?
Um, I'm going to go with Knights in 4. I definitely think that, coming off of those 2 tough losses against Vortex and Hydra, they're definitely looking for a bounce back series here. But, I'm still sticking with Knights, but I'm also gonna put that with Vorse being an FA sub, while it can maybe throw off Distortion a little bit since they don't have a lot of playing time together, it might possibly throw off Knights because they might not have played against them a lot, so kind of having to readjust to a new player on the field.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. My original prediction, my own team here, Knights. I'm the GM. Um, they are struggling a little bit. Vulcan been sick. I did predict Knights in 5, but seeing that there's the FA sub, I might have to change that to 4. I still think they have the advantage, but I think they'll just get it done in one game sooner. As we are 30 seconds underway here. Kind of a little bit of a ping pong action so far, but a shot coming out by Sense and a great save by Vulcan as they're now trying to turn around. But Sosa with no boost gets 50'd on the wall. And Zap is just going to clear that into the sidewall. But he gets across past middle. Vorse not quite there. And big bang out by Vulcan, who's looking to try to make something happen. But both Sense and Vulcan missing. And Sense able to dribble out and try to start that attack yet again. Zap looking for the play. Looking for the bump was Vorse, I believe. And unable to get it. As Knights are trying to get this out of their defensive end. Distortion definitely have looked like they've had quite a bit of the pressure so far. Knights have got the ball in their offensive half a couple times, but they haven't able to make anything threatening. What do you think here in the first minute and a half so far, Valence? What do you think both teams have to do? You think they're a little nervous? What's going on?
It might be a little bit of nerves, considering it's a stream game, obviously, so there's a bit more pressure there. But first minute and a half might just be a little bit of feeling out because again of that FA sub, it can definitely put a little bit of a difference in gameplay. But yeah, like you said, Distortions had most of the pressure in the first minute, and really wondering if Knights can find that way to start getting pushes downfield and boost control and kind of get some counters going to maybe create openings.
As they look to get something
Oh,
going there, as a beautiful setup by Vulcan and a great finish there by Sosa, able to put the Knights on the board up early 1-0 with still 3 minutes to go though, but able to get the scoring started here and get a little bit of that pressure off of their back as Distortion has looked pretty heavy on the offensive attack.
yeah, I'm about to say they I like that little flick from I think it was Vulcan, I think that made the flick, and then Sense got that little weird touch off the corner, putting I believe it was I think it was Vorse on the an awkward spot on the backboard, and good shot there from Sousa to put in and give them that lead.
I do agree. As Vulcan looking to get a second one, and Squintle not necessarily getting the assist there, but driving through their goal, trying to just get a couple disruptions there, making Boris have to jump out of the way for that fake. And Knights are going to go up 2-0 here.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, excuse me, with Distortion kind of having most of the pressure, something's been cooking with Knights on really reading these like corner hits because both those goals that happened were off of the touches off the corner from Distortion. As Distortion puts one away to decrease the lead to one for the Knights, and very good play there by Zap to get it out to Sense, and a good slot there from Sense.
No, great slot there by Sense. Sosa coming across the backboard, just missing the save a little too far ahead of it. But overall, great play there by Distortion, Zap, and Sense. Obviously they had chemistry. They are teammates, and that's showing off right there with that play that they have.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some chemistry with Zap and Sense, and with Vorse being there. Vorse is I'm not gonna lie, Vorse is not doing too bad. It's definitely still a bit shaky because of like you said, probably not being able to play with each other as a lot. But as Knights are kind of getting more onto the attack now, as Vulcan almost got one in the net there, but it's definitely starting to be more back and forth as Knights are starting to take control in certain situations a lot better than they were in the first minute.
I do agree there. They have had a couple good attacks, just missing one on a couple of their shots, but they're looking good here as Sense is looking to get a clear out, but Vulcan's there to keep it in, but right to Vorse on the corner wall, but not able to get any control out of it as Sosa's going to take a shot on, but that's going to get cleared out, and Vorse is looking for the backboard touch. Unable to have anyone follow up there. And that's, I think that might be a communication play as Vorse went up for a little bit of a redirect there, and I don't think his teammates were quite ready for that. As Sosa
Ooh.
puts one on with a little assistance from the post and Vorse the defender.
Yeah, unfortunate touch there from Borsk, and unfortunate bounce there off the post too, setting up Sosa for a nice easy shot. Just all he had to do was just tap it into the net. And the three goals for Knights were all just missed touches from Distortion on their defensive end, and that's something that I think that they have to fix in order for them to start taking control again and start decreasing the lead and get some momentum.
I would have to agree with that as they are looking to attack here as Vorse with plenty of boost trying to make something happen. Puts it up over the top, but Squintle is there to get the save right on top of Sosa, who is going to get the 50 there. And Vorse is going to 50 Sosa there. It's going to go into the corner, and Zap's going to try to take control of this, but but Sense is looking for Zap in the corner. Zap unable to get the touch, but Sense is still there, and no, Sosa is going to get the clear out, but straight to Vorse as that's going to waterfall down, a little awkward for the Knights, but able to stay calm and maintain that as Sense is looking for the air dribble. Not enough boost, and you hate to see that there as Sense, you feel like if he had a little more boost, he probably would have been able to get that air dribble there as he probably would have been able to dunk out that defender. But as time dwindles down, Zap is going to get one for the road, try to give them momentum heading into game two, but Knights take this one 3-2.
Yep, actually good shot there. As people might think that getting a goal with 0 seconds left, even though you still won't win, it can kind of give you some momentum into the next game. Maybe get the confidence up a little bit. But out of that, I would like to see a little bit more from Squintle. There, because last time I played against Knights, I mean it was a scrim, but Squintle did play a lot more dominant than he is right now. It seems like he's a little bit more awkward, a little bit more lost than you might think. But I'm hoping that they can start utilizing him more because I think if they were to able to do that, they might get a lot more pressure going and might even get bigger leads.
Yeah, I do agree. You see Sosa there with it was almost 800 points, I believe. Vulcan with about 450, and Squintle with not even 200 points there. With such a low scoring game, you would expect points to be a little more spread out and not so top sided with one player. So I would agree. I would like to see, personally, with Knights being my rival team, I'd like to see a little more spread out between all three of them and see Squintle get into the action a little more, as I know he's a great rival player himself. And I've seen him pop off in other series. So I think, they can really run away with this if they can get all three of them firing on all cylinders. On the other hand, Distortion, what do you think Distortion needs to do to bounce back from this game? Yes, it was close. It was 3-2. They picked up that last second goal, but what do you think they need to do to be able to, turn around and take this game too?
I think their main thing that they need to do is the defensive touches are pretty awkward and they're putting themselves in bad spots. It's not like Knights are outplaying them by any means. I mean, don't get me wrong, Knights are still playing good. They're still playing solid, but Distortion's just making those touches that are kind of giving them the goals, giving Knights those free open nets. Especially, I mean, obviously one of them was a little unfortunate with the post bounce, but again, like I said in the last game, two of theirs were off of corner touches that could have been better touches. But it's just finding those touches either to each other when you're clearing out or just anything to just create some counter or anything to just not let them get that free goal.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. A lot of their touches, I think they were trying to keep it close to their body, try to, make plays happen, not trying to go for those big bangs downfield. And it ultimately did kind of bite them in the end, as their touches weren't as close as I think they wanted them to be. And Knights were also just right there to eat them up. So I think maybe you should see they kind of looked the most dangerous when they did have those big boom and clears where they had a teammate downfield where they were trying to get a redirect, or able to control it off the wall and pass it across middle to their other teammate coming upfield. So maybe you try to see them do that a little more, as I feel like that's where they looked the most dangerous last game.
Yeah, I think another thing that they would also, I think, sorry, another thing that they should start doing as, never mind, Squintle's just gonna shut me up as he puts one in for an early lead for the Knights.
That he did. I think Squintle's listening, and he said, "All right, you want me to show up? Here we go. I'll show up. I'll put one in the net." Now I hope that's not the only one he does, because I want him to show up and continue to show up. So we'll see what happens. But giving the Knights that early 1-0 lead, just like you said, a little bit of a defensive lackluster there for Distortion again, allowing that to go in. But they can easily turn around. There's still 4 minutes left in this game, and let's see what they can get going here. As Vorse is going looking for the attack, going for the 50, makes one miss, but Sosa is going to able to control that, as Vorse is still awkward with low boost here. Plays for the 50 again, and Zap's going to clear that up off of his backboard. Sense with the clear out, looking for a teammate middle. Gets sent across, but Zap is there, but misses the touch, and Zap has to get pass sent from Sense off the backboard, and Vorse has a wide open net, and he's just going to tuck that one in.
Man, really good play here from Distortion as Sense putting it on the backboard and going for the demo, and all that leaves is the open net for Vorse. All he has to do is put it right in the net, and he does just that and ties up the game with 3:30 left.
3:30 left. 1-1 game here in game two. Knights are up 1-0. And so far, this game, it's gone back and forth a little bit,
Ooh.
but Squintle scoring his second of the game and giving the Knights that 2-1 lead.
Man, let me tell you, Squintle is really starting to show up. Like you said, I think he did hear me. He's starting to play a lot faster as I believe it was Sosa that got that 50 in the corner to set it up on the backboard. And Squintle just comes in really quick and just slots it in the top corner, giving them that lead back again.
That he does. And Zap going off the sidewall 50, and Sense able to get that touch and able to put that in and tie this up yet again less than 30 seconds later.
Very good shot there from Sense. And this game is just starting to really go back and forth as everyone's just flip flopping goals. And I'm really just waiting to see if this one team can just start pulling away a little bit. Now, I would like to add, as I was going to add earlier, that for Distortion, I really want to see some more demo play out of them. It's been a very, very clean game. I think I've only seen like 2 demos throughout the series so far, and they were all from Knights too. But I think that if Distortion can start implementing some physical play in, it can really start throwing Knights off, and maybe they could pull away with a lead. And we'll see what happens as that one's just going top right, and Squintle is just showing up big.
All right, maybe this is what I'm going to do every game. I'm going to have to cast every Knights game, and I'm going to have to yell at each one of them that, they got to step up and play better because Squintle has stepped up in this game too and now has a hat trick with still more than half the game to go. So,
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should just start saying that I should start seeing more out of him because apparently he just likes listening to me as well.
yeah, maybe he just wanted to hear his name, so he wanted to play a little down, have him talk about him after game number 1 so he could really pop up here for game number 2 and turn some heads because Squintle is taking control single-handedly almost in this game 2 for the Knights here. 3 shots, 4 goals. Definitely getting it done here for the Knights team.
Yeah, and as I'm looking here, Knights are really putting on the pressure this game as they have 8 shots onto Distortion's 4, and Distortion's been having a little bit of trouble keeping it off their half. I mean, getting some bursts here and there, but it's mainly been Knights Distortion getting the easy or making it easy for the Knights defense to get clears and get some pressure going, and that's what's causing Distortion to kind of struggle right now.
Yeah, and Distortion, I think what they need to do also is they need to try to get those quick counterattacks. As I have noticed, Knights rotations haven't been perfect. That first goal that got scored on, they left Squintle by himself for quite a bit of time, and it pinged off of the sidewall, and they were able to get that touch back, and there was still no one back in net.
Ooh.
Um, and even their second goal, they were just not in time rotating, but their offensive rotations are looking pretty good as, some teamwork, backboard passes, and great finishing here. And this one by Vulcan, but set up by Squintle.
Yeah, like you said with the backboard passes, it's just their pressure that Knights are putting on Distortion is causing a lot of panic out of Distortion. Like you said, the Knights rotation hasn't been the cleanest as Force puts one in the bottom left corner, and they're still light for Distortion here with a minute left as they decrease the lead to 1.
There is light as Vorse just sent Vulcan 6 feet underground with that massive dunk that he just had, giving them a 1 goal deficit here with still 1 minute remaining to go. And with 7 goals being scored in this game, last game being a fairly decent scoring game himself, they're going to put in goals. So are they just able to get it done with a minute to go? As this one is on target, and Sense is going to tie it up with less than 49 seconds to go.
And Squintle with the unfortunate touch out mid, but Sense read it all over, and just all he had to do was put it on net. Sousa just not able to get there, and Distortion ties it up with not even a minute left. We might end up seeing OT here, Speed.
We could see OT here, our first OT of the series, and we got 40 seconds left to go. Let's see, is anyone going to be able to break this 4-4 tie? And it looks like Distortion is going to, with the help of Vorse, who's going to get his hat trick here.
And the FA sub showing up big as he gets this beautiful wall read off there, just throwing off the defense. No one back to end up getting the save. and a good slot there from Boris as he gives Distortion their first lead of or actually not the first lead, but the late lead that they definitely need for this game.
And Zap looking to add another one to the total. A miss comes out by Sosa. Squintel's going to have to take this one into the air. Low on boost, but Vulcan gets the 50. Cross middle, but Zap is there to keep it into their offensive end. And Sosa look a little awkward here on the board as he's going to miss again. And sending this back middle. But no, great clear out there by Squintle as time's dwindling down here. 5 seconds. Knights are going to have to try to start keeping this one up,
Oh,
and they're not going to. That's going to do it for game two. 3 seconds left. I don't see two kickoff goals happening in 3 seconds here.
probably not. But the pressure that Distortion has just started outbursting in the last like minute of the game is really something that they got to work with because in the beginning, Knights I think had like oh, as Vulcan puts one in here, but
Oh, we're
Knights
going to see
actually
it.
had maybe actually I just thought of that maybe
There's still a second left on the clock.
actually I don't know maybe
Both teams trying to go, securely on that first kickoff, giving
mm,
it enough time. This game is not over yet, folks. And that one's
wait
going to hit the
nope
ground.
nope nope. But no, as I was saying, with Distortion, with that final outburst of pressure that they had in the last minute of that game, because like I was saying, Knights had all the shots leading into like the first half and a little bit after that too, and then Distortion just started picking up the pace, challenging a lot earlier, and they ended up with more shots than Knights to end it. So it really showed that, and Vorst ended up stepping up a lot too, so they started looking for each other a lot more and really started working out for them.
Yes, they did show up late with the lead there from the FA sub. And tonight must be FA night because
Mhm.
opening match with the Gladiators and Faded, FA sub there with Cream for Faded, definitely helping propel Faded up over the Gladiators. So I think tonight might be FA night. But I'm sitting here, I'm watching that game too, and that high scoring game. And, you know, Knights offense looked really good. Um,
Mhm.
all the goals they had, they earned. They were great team plays. It wasn't like Distortion beat themselves on a lot of the goals that Knights had. However, Distortion, Knights, their rotation is what's
Ooh.
really messing them up on the defensive end, I think, as Vorse, again, going to start off this game three with a nice little solo play and beating two of the Knights defenders to go up 1-0.
Yeah, very good early challenge there from Boris, kind of throwing off the defender on the dribble there and just able to slot it on the left side of the net, and might be another one there. Nope, just wide, but giving them that early lead that they need to keep this momentum up from last game.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the Knights defense, definitely their weak point right now, as their rotations aren't very clean. I don't know if it's a communication issue or what's going on there, but their defense is definitely what's has kept Distortion into this game and the series so far. If they can fix that up a little bit, I think they will be able to be okay and turn this series around. As Distortion has had their number the last two games so far. I know we're still early on in this game, but um, I definitely think that's the big key here for this night's roster is they have to, fix their rotations and fix their defense.
Yeah, this whole series has been off of which team has the more pressure because both defenses for both teams have whenever they're under pressure, it's everyone starts panicking, kind of wailing themselves at the ball, and when you're on defense in a situation like this, you need to stay composed, let the other team make the mistake, and I mean if they execute the play, props to them, but it's just about not panicking on defense, and that's what both defenses are doing, which is causing these high scoring affairs.
It is as we are still 1-0 here in favor of Distortion heading into almost 3 minutes left in this game number three. And what are you seeing out here? What needs to happen for this Knights team right now for them to turn around and tie this game up?
It's pretty much just resetting their mindset, resetting how they're playing. Because again, ever since Distortion had that last burst in the last game, they've been playing a lot more solid. Actually, this game, both defenses are looking a lot better, even though Knights gave up one. But Knights just need to pretty much reset and just talk about what they got to do, and just try to capitalize on Distortion's mistakes.
As a demo is going to come out there by Sense, but they're not unable to capitalize on that as Vulcan's going to send this one off of the backboard looking for a teammate, but it's going to get sent to the corner wall as Squintel's there and Sosa looking to put this one in. No, great save there by
Ooh.
Distortion. Team defense right there. Two saves coming out. Stayed calm and was able to clear that one out, but Knights are still here trying to threaten as Sosa's going to get that pass across middle, but Squintel unable to make anything happen. Squintel's going to try to send this one middle, misses that touch, and Vorse is going to 50 this one out and hope that his teammate can pick it up as Sense tries to send it down, and Vorse is looking for a bump, but unable to get it done. Zap's going to send this one off the backboard. Squintel, a little awkward touch, but Vulcan's going to send this one out and try to make something happen, but Vorse is just taking control, I've noticed, this game and the last game. In that midfield, he's really owning it, and he's really started some quick turnaround plays here for that Distortion roster.
Yeah, and I've also noticed that this game has been a very not even more dominant from either team. I mean, Distortion only has like 3 shots and Knights only has one. It's a very low shooting game. It's just been a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with the defense clearing it on both teams. And I'm just really curious to see who's going to be that first one to break, because this one's the closest game we've had all series. As Sense puts it in and gives Distortion their 2-goal lead. Good shot there from Sense.
Yeah, Sense is honestly being such a menace in this game. I've seen him come out with 2 demos. I've seen him have 3 bumps that were close to being demos. He just wasn't quite supersonic, but Sense is really starting to turn this up in this game 3 and make things happen for this Distortion roster. And I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Sense, and I'm surprised I'm not seeing more out of that play bump demo play style coming out of Vulcan. As a lot of people in this rival league know Vulcan is a very, very fast player, and he will find those bumps and find those demos quite often. And I don't think I've seen a single
Ooh.
demo from Vulcan as Vorse scores his like what 5th goal of the series so far,
Yeah.
and puts up Distortion 3-0 late here in game 3.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Distortion as their momentum still continues from last game, as they're shutting out the Knights this game, as they've been having a very impressive performance, all players contributing. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Sense. Like you said, Sense is playing a lot better, and Vorse is still holding his own very, very well against this rival lobby, as that puts another one in, and I think that might secure game 3.
I think that might secure game 3 as well. And you saw right there a little defensive mistake again by the Knights, pushed up a little too far and not able to recover in time. And this Knights team has some work cut out for them in the rest of the series. Gonna be going down 2-1. Um, they took game 1. It looked pretty convincing, but since then, you know, Distortion has just had their number. Um, No, big. What's the big thing? What are you looking for? What do they have to do? Play style. Someone needs to step up. What's it going to be here for the Knights roster to be able to, come away in game 4 and force a game 5?
Um, Now you did say that Vulcan has Vorse puts another one in for a 5-goal lead, but as you were saying with Vorse, or not Vorse, Vulcan looking a little bit more dominant. He's still looking a little bit awkward in most situations. So I think what they need to do is in the middle or after this, since this game is over, for the next game, just start kind of talking to each other, trying to calm each other down, because nerves are probably definitely getting to them, knowing that it's do or die right now. Is Distortion's on match point, but they need to just reset everything they're doing. I think they need to again start playing more physical against Distortion and try to break up some of those offenses or the offenses pressure and opportunities that Distortion is creating for themselves. And I think they might be able to get some momentum going and hopefully take the next two.
Yeah, and if you're Distortion here, you're feeling good. You've had back-to-back 5-goal games. I believe last one was a 5-goal game, or
Mhm.
maybe even 6 for them. Vorse on the leaderboard with another hat trick as the FA sub, and you know they have to keep doing what they're doing. You know, they looked a little slow there in game one, but since then they have turned it around. They're looking really good. If you're them, you know, I think you come out with the same energy. You fill out how the Knights are playing, and then you adjust to that. But you know, you don't want to start playing more passive, knowing that you're on match point. You just got to come out the same energy that you have been. And if you're the Knights, you have to change something up. You have to try to be, like you said, more physical. Look for those bumps. Look for those demos. You know, really look for those team passing plays as well, and try to open things up and get this distortion defense moving all around.
Yeah. Yeah, because Distortion obviously has all the momentum going into this game, but Distortion can't get too cocky because, I mean, yes, they did shut out Knights and they did get a 5-goal lead, but if you get too comfortable, the other team can come out unexpectedly and can throw you off a little bit. So, in my philosophy, treat every game like it's a 0-0 series and just have that mindset and just don't go too cocky and get too comfortable because one team can pop off any moment, no matter how good or how bad.
I do agree. As distortion here, looking to try to score early. Knights having a little bit of a hard time getting out of defensive end, but Zap with an open miss on the sidewall there, but Sense has his back. But Zeus is going to dunk him off the backboard, looking for the pass. Unable to get there. Vulcan trying to get
Oh
back
no.
and not able to get that touch, as again, Vulcan pushed up a little too far and lets another ball yet go over his head.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been seeing out of Knights in a couple of these scenarios where because this is I think not Vor's. I think this is Vor's second goal that he scored from his own end because the third men are just pushing up way too far and just giving them it, putting themselves in a bad situation that has to have them force themselves to go back quick or just like Vorst did get that enough power on that touch to just get it over that last defender and get that early lead.
Yeah, and you know, again, the Knights' defense has kind of been their downfall. They have the offensive firepower. They didn't quite show it last game, but you know, we have seen them put up high scoring games before, so they just got to put it all together, calm down, relax, and just try to get things taken
Ooh.
care of.
Ooh.
As a scary moment there coming out, as Vorse gets a demo and sending a shot just wide. As Knights are looking to get attacked, big bang by Vulcan, double commit on defense there, but no one there to follow it up for the Knights team, and you know it's gonna get sent back out as Distortion's looking to make an attack as Vorse with a dribble doesn't quite get the flick on target as Vulcan's going to try to take this one out and gets dunked by Sense. And he's finding one middle to
Ooh.
Zap, but Squintle coming out with that big save. As we approach just under 3 minutes remaining here, still a 1-0 game, but Distortion with quite a bit of the pressure.
Oh, wow.
And
And a
Zap,
great shot
Zap.
there from that, man.
Mm, great play right there by Sense. Getting past that defender in the middle and setting his team up perfectly as no the defense by Knight Squintle unable to quite get that touch and save that from going in.
Yeah, it's really entertaining to see that on how well after game one Distortion has been playing as Sense almost gets the flip reset in. But it's very entertaining to see how Distortion's been playing with the F face sub. I mean, this game we're halfway through the game here and Knights still have yet to get a shot on net, which is if you're a Knights fan, pretty scary for the Knights. Is again, you said that they're known to have that offensive power, but Distortion has just been finding a way to keep them to keep Knights on their back foot and not let them create any opportunities and keep them on the pressure.
Yeah, Distortion's had a lot of midfield presence, and you know they're getting really physical. They're continue to stay physical, and I think that's been the difference maker here in this series is they've gotten really physical and they've owned that midfield. And you know, they've stayed strong defensively when the Knights have able to break past that midfield. But um, right now, 2-0 in game number 4 on match point with a minute 40 to go. Is Knights going to be able to make anything happen here late in this game number 4 to try to force us to go into game 5? As Squintle's going to send this one to the corner. Looking for a teammate,
Ooh.
Vulcan there, but great save. But shot on by Sosa, and he's going to tuck that one in. Great placement.
Yeah, very good touch here by Vulcan, as it unfortunately goes off of Boris, not the way he wanted it to, but Sousa reads it all the way and puts a nice slot in the left side just underneath Zap and gets the deficit down to 1.
Has plenty of time left with 1 minute and 20 seconds. But this one's getting set on, but Vulcan is back in time to get that save. And he's going to clear this one off to the side. Looking for a teammate as Squintel's going to try to put this one on target. But Distortion defense collapsed on their goal to get that one there. But a little bit of a double commit. Vorse is up, though. He's going to send this one on target. Squintel's going to catch it. He's going to beat one. Looking for Sosa to take over, but unable to get there. Excuse me, Vulcan to take over, but was unable to get there. As Squintel's going to send this one further into their corner. Vulcan's going to look for a pass middle. Not a great pass. Cleared up by Vorse. As this one's going to get sent right in front of their net. And Squintel unable to beat Sense there. And great defense coming out yet again by this Distortion roster. And they really just have turned up their defense.
Yes, they have, but also nice hit. You can tell they're getting desperate. 30 seconds left. Distortion on match point, do or die for Knights. Knights are getting really desperate, trying to get a lot more shots on net, but Distortion just have them on lockdown as a passing play comes out from Distortion, and Zap puts it away, and that might have just sealed their win there.
Yeah, and if that does it here, 20 seconds left. It's not impossible. We did see them score a quick kickoff goal in a previous game when they were down 2. But Sense here is going to put in another one off the kickoff, and it's going to go the other way with a quick off goal. And I believe that is going to be the dagger as they go up 3 with only 16 seconds left to go in this game number 4.
Yeah, good kickoff there for Distortion as Sense gets a good cheat up and pretty much just an easy shot for Sense. No one back, just had to tap it in the net. And I think that, and another kickoff goal comes out, but on Knights this time. 13 seconds? Maybe?
Question mark? Question mark?
I don't know. Winnable?
Two more kickoff goals? Is it possible?
Winnable.
It is winnable now.
Winnable.
We're back within striking distance as if Knights can get another goal with at least 1 second remaining on the clock. They are, pretty good players, rival caliber. I've seen them keep the ball up for a minute at a time before, so they just need to get some time left on the clock and put one in. But that is going to officially do it as time is at 0. Ball's going to hit ground, and that will do it. And Distortion going to take the gentleman's sweep after losing game 1. They are going to finish out and win this one in 4.
I was very, very impressed on how Distortion just came out swinging after that first game loss that they had, and especially with Vorse being that FA sub, Vorse really, really impressed me. Never really got to see Vorse play before, but he did play really well today. Knights also did give it their all too, just couldn't end up finding it after that game 1 as Distortion just kept on coming at him, and I just couldn't find an answer, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really think that big difference maker there in the series tonight, 100% was Vorse. And with a free agent sub, you don't necessarily always expect that, but Vorse really stepped up. He showed up when he was needed, and he really propelled that Distortion team over the Knights today. So maybe he'll find himself back on a roster after that performance he had himself tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, impressive performance from Vorse. Definitely going to be some GMs probably looking out for him, especially after that. Hopefully, like you said, hopefully he gets picked up. And if he does, I see very good success in what he does. But yeah, nonetheless, a good series for the Ender.
Indeed. Well, that is going to do it tonight on the Nemesis Gaming League channel. Excellent 3 matches tonight. But we do have 3 more on Saturday night, so don't be I'm losing my words. Don't forget to stop by the stream Saturday night, as we will have 3 more games. Maybe 3 more games. I don't know if we found an 8 o'clock game for Saturday. I know we were looking for one. We'll at least be back with 2 for sure. I can tell you that. We'll be back for 2 games on Saturday for sure. Saturday Night Rocket League. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, everyone. Have a great night.